The passenger pigeon's story is intertwined with American culture and the conservation movement, thanks to the sheer grandeur and scale of the birds in life and the undeniability that humans caused their shockingly rapid extinction. What made the birds famous was their giant flocks. As John James Audubon described in 1831, the air was literally filled with pigeons. The light of the noonday was obscured as by an eclipse. In the early 1800s, passenger pigeons were the most abundant birds on Earth, numbering 3 to 5 billion, outnumbering humans nearly 5 to 1. Yet their presence on the landscape wasn't ubiquitous. They were highly concentrated in dense flocks of 1 to 3 billion birds. At any given time, there may have been only 2 to 5 flocks moving nomadically across the eastern United States and Canada. Their nesting and roosting colonies averaged 30 square miles in size and ranged greater than 100 square miles. The largest was recorded in 1871 in central Wisconsin. It may have held as many as 1.8 billion birds. Several unique evolutionary traits made life possible at these huge numbers. They were hypersocial. When nesting, the birds could number 40,000 per acre, and when roosting, they crowded branches so tightly that pigeons perched on the backs of other pigeons. Their graduated tails were key to social signaling, and unlike most of the world's pigeons and doves, the males were different in color to females. Their rusty peach breasts helped them attract mates when competing amongst billions. Their beauty, as much as their grand flocks, has captivated people for centuries. Perhaps no one expressed this more elegantly than Chief Pokagon of the Potawatomi tribe when he wrote, "It was proverbial with our fathers that if the Great Spirit, in his wisdom, could have created a more elegant bird in plumage, form, and movement, he never did. But it was their extinction that cemented their position in history. The birds went from billions to none in a matter of just 40 years, with greater than 99% declines every 7 to 10 years from 1860 to 1902, when the last wild bird was shot. Only a few old, likely inbred birds remained at the Cincinnati Zoo. By 1910, only one remained, a female named Martha. When she died, September 1st, 1914, it marked the extinction of her species. Over the following decades, scientists and non-scientists alike tried to rationalize how the species collapsed so rapidly. No one could fathom that human actions alone led to this extinction. This led to many misconceptions about the species that were not rooted in historic records, traditional knowledge, or science. People pointed to deforestation and contemplated the species' quote-unquote natural susceptibility to extinction, which scientists supported with many unfounded hypotheses. However, in the past decade, Revive and Restore's research and the work of independent scientists have finally began to clarify the passenger pigeon's natural history through science. Today we know that passenger pigeons were not somehow naturally vulnerable to extinction, but that their generalist diet, nomadic movements, and their niche as an ecosystem engineer enabled their populations to remain large and stable throughout many epochs of environmental change. When viewed holistically, the passenger pigeon is an ideal candidate for de-extinction.